Continuing Mr. Orth's flipped classroom for grammar, indefinite pronouns when used as antecedents. Remember that an indefinite pronoun is one that does not refer to a specific person, place, thing, or idea. Essentially, it's undefined. Get ready to write down this list. Some are singular, others are plural, and some are either. We'll talk about that more later. All right, looking at this table. Again, you may already have it in your notes, but depending on when you've joined us, you might not. In the singular column, there's a particular way I've done this to try to minimize writing. These are essentially the prefixes, and these are the suffixes. Anybody, anyone, anything. Everybody, everyone, everything. Nobody, no one, no thing. Somebody, someone, something. You can write down all 12 words if you prefer. Right now, 7½ words might be easier for some. You might be wondering why they're all singular. Think about it. The word body is singular. The word one is singular. The word thing is singular. Just because we change how that word starts, how it ends is still singular. The end is in parentheses here because it can be either or neither. Either, neither, if you prefer the pronunciation. Each and another. Plural, both, few, many, several. Anytime we use those as a pronoun, they're always going to refer to something that's more than one. Either column is all, any, most, none, or some. And that's a little less clear. We'll come back to that in a moment. You need to pause this, do so to write it down. Listen to the explanations one more time. So we're doing this. You want to find the antecedents for all of your pronouns. I typically recommend to my students that you draw an arrow from the pronoun you've got to the word you think the pronoun's replacing. It may not be a perfect system, but it gives you a visual connection between those two words to see how those two words, the pronoun and the antecedent, go together. For indefinite pronouns, you want to determine if that antecedent is singular or plural using the ending or the chart. If it's in the singular column, then what you're going to replace it with is going to be a singular pronoun. If it's in the plural column for indefinite pronouns, then what you replace it with must be a plural pronoun. If it's either, well, number 3. Only the indefinite pronoun can be either singular or plural. Only if it's in that either column, all, any, most, none, or some. Then you check for a prepositional phrase after that indefinite pronoun and use the object to determine whether it's singular or plural. Each of my friends is always going to be singular because each is always singular. Friends makes no difference. Each would be then he or she if we were to place it later on. If we have both of my friends, both is always plural. Replace it with they or them. However, if it's all, such as all of my classes, all could be singular, like all of a pizza, or it can be all of my classes and we have plural. In which case, if the prepositional phrase ends in an object which is plural, then we'll treat that indefinite pronoun as plural. If the object of the preposition is singular, we'll treat that either column, all, any, most, none, or some. We'll treat that as though it's also singular. But only in those 5 cases are we worried about checking the object preposition. Otherwise, we literally need to go back to our chart and identify whether it's singular or plural. That's all we do. Decide which pronoun is best following each of the indefinite pronouns. Each of my friends went to their or his or her classes. You say it's friends, their, plural, done. That's great, except friends isn't the antecedent. Each is the antecedent. Each, if you go back to your list, is singular. Therefore, it's each went to his or her classes. Of my friends makes no difference. In fact, it might only make a negative difference by distracting you from what needs to happen. Some of the pizza was left in its or their box. Some isn't in the singular column. Somebody is. Someone, something, but not just some. Some isn't in the plural column. Some is in the either. Because it's in the either column, then we look at the prepositional phrase, of the pizza. Pizza is singular, therefore we treat some as singular, and we replace it with the singular option, in which case is its. No question this is tricky, but take your time, Use the chart. Don't do what sounds right. Follow the steps. Otherwise, you're going to simply repeat mistakes you've been making probably for a while now. Good hunting.